Hey. Okay, that's way too high. Alright, that's better. So I'm going to title this video something like the quote from Spider-Man 3 where it's like, is this the end of Spider-Man?
It could be the end of Spider-Man.
Is this the end of Platinum Bro? I want to make this video because over the last few months I've been pretty quiet. For me anyway, I've only posted like 3 times in the last 4 months. Things have definitely slowed down, and kind of where I'm at right now, where the channel's going to be going in the future, because I'm not really sure, but I'm going to give you my plan of kind of what's going on and kind of explain as to why there's been like a decline in frequency of videos, I would say. I wouldn't say quality, although some people would say that. But you know, not me. I've not really been posting Platinum Bro, and that's mainly because I have not been earning that many Platinum trophies, and I've not been feeling the urge to want to make content around it. And I think if I start with the trophy hunting, which I have spoke about in previous videos, probably about 6 months ago I made a video about why they don't feel the same anymore, which pretty much covers most of it. But I was just burnt out for them is the short story. I just found the tedious grind of them just so boring and unfulfilling. I just wasn't really getting any achievement from them. I was finishing them and it was more of a relief than a sense of achievement, and I was kind of like, this is not how it should feel. This is not how a hobby should be. And this just trickled through into YouTube, and YouTube actually reinforced my disdain for Platinum trophies. Okay, so I want to start this by saying this isn't actually a overly negative video really. It's just me discussing how it's kind of been as a content creator in this Platinum trophy space as of late, because it's been pretty weird and it's been difficult, but it's not actually that negative, and I'm going to try and keep it as positive, but I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you about how it's kind of been as a content creator as of late over the past year making Platinum trophy stuff. I kind of fell through this burnout making content. Probably started around May 2024, but it really started to hit pretty hard in September when I just wasn't getting the reward for the effort I was putting in, because I spent 18 months. I've been working on this channel coming up the 5th year, but the 18 months to 24 months before probably September, I was working like mad on this. I was working like an average probably 30 hours a week. Bear in mind I work 40 hours a week with my full-time job, so it was kind of just like, you know, you're going to work, you're coming home, you know, if I have time to go to the gym, or maybe I don't, a lot of the time I didn't, and then I would just be like, you know, from 7 o'clock till midnight every night I was just working on videos, grinding them out, editing all this stuff. And I had a good few hits early on in the year, like Helldivers 2 did really well. I did the Platinum Helldivers 1 and 2, and then Tekken did pretty well as well, but I just found that I was never really getting as far as other people, and it was, you know, they say comparison is the thief of joy, which it is, and especially when you can see the views and it's tied to like kind of the success of the channel, the growth of the channel, and then the monetary incentive as well. And I was just seeing a lot of people making the same stuff on a lot less effort, getting 3, 4 times, 10 times as many views as what I was getting. I found it quite frustrating for a long time, but I always felt to myself that I was like one video away from like kind of getting up to like 100,000 views on average for a video, which would have really changed the channel, which would have allowed me to maybe take some time off from work, maybe reduce my hours and just really go for Platinum Bro. That's what I wanted to do pretty much all throughout 2024 and all throughout 2023. I wanted to make this to a position where I could drop some time at work and I could still have my full-time job, but I could dedicate more time to this, and then I could have some time off, because I was working so much and I've worked so much that I really haven't had any time off to myself, and that kind of built and built and built, and it wasn't sustainable. It really wasn't, and that's kind of another lever of how the burnout started to form, because I was working so hard and I generally just didn't feel like I was getting any closer to my goals, and it felt like my goals were massively out of my control. I've said this before on live streams and stuff, when I did my video on Fallout 76, which I did enjoy doing, but it was a slog. The Platinum trophy is about 80 to 90 hours, and then the video took me a long time to make. I really upped my production value for that video. I bought a camera and I bought this microphone for it, and I really went out there and I really added to the video, and the video was one of the best I've ever done, and it is the best video on earning the Platinum trophy in Fallout 76. There's only maybe like 5 or 6 videos out there, but it is by far the best. No one has went the effort that I went to for that video. The storytelling, the jokes, the music was excellent in it. Oh, a flower. And that was another thing where I literally saw a couple of videos come out a day before, a week after, and they're getting like 200,000 views, and mine was getting like 20, and I was like, these videos are all really not as good as mine. They're all really lazy, no music, just talking about the Platinum trophy. The person's made it in a day, and it's just been pushed beyond but my videos were ever getting pushed, and it felt frustrating, it felt unfair, and it really just soured it all for me. And I was like, well, there's nothing I can do, and I've given it a good go, and I just feel like, what is the point anymore? Because it doesn't matter how hard I try, the video ideas I think of, it just doesn't matter, because ultimately they don't get pushed beyond my audience for any reason. And that stuck with me for a long time, and I just had to take a break, and I just felt my need to want to make videos become less and less, and because it was such an ingrained hobby of mine that I did struggle to break away from that to start with, and then I just thought, I'm going to take some time, and I did, and then that time really turned out to be probably around 4 months to 5 months, and maybe around, give or take, and there was still a video coming out every now and then, but then I stopped actually getting the platinums in games. I've had a few people comment about this, but ultimately there's a lot of people making videos where they weren't even getting the platinum trophy, and they were just kind of slapping on the title, the name and the title, and then that was enough to drive views to their channel, like a massive amount of views. And I was like, I'm not going to be pushing myself through 80 hours of a game that I'm not enjoying after I've beaten the game, spend 50 hours editing, when it's probably going to get 20,000 views, when I could just play the game for 20 hours, spend 30 hours editing, and then still make a video which is just as good. I just don't have the platinum trophy. And then it kind of allowed for me to sidestep from having to do this mindless grind for trophy hunting, because I have found it unfulfilling. But I just found that when I was doing for videos, and it was kind of like this, I wouldn't have platinumed this game if I wasn't doing it for the video. But because I've got to do it for the video, that kind of made it create this toxic cycle within me around trophy hunting. And if you're just doing the game, it's hard to explain. And if you've never made content around it, you might not get it, and that's totally fine. But it made this space where I just didn't want to really force myself to platinum trophies for games anymore, because it was an extra 30 to 40 hours for potentially, it meant there was more risk on the videos because it took even longer to make. And I was getting like upload anxiety, where like there was so much effort going in the videos that I wanted them to do well, and then I just couldn't even bring myself to check like the comments in the performance until like day 2, and then it would either perform poorly as expected, and I'd be like, right, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, or it would do well, and then it would be like more of a relief than anything else. So I feel like I really need to just take a step back from this whole like YouTube like affecting my kind of my headspace, which I definitely have done, and I am feeling a lot better now about it all. So I suppose this kind of like leaves me in this space where I'm not really sure where I want to go yet, and I had to kind of ponder on it. But ultimately I do think that I left it really for about it was a solid 2-3 months where I was only checking my channel probably twice a week, and I was actually made a new channel just for browsing, because I didn't actually want to be like tempted to look at stuff, and not being in the platinum trophy space and seeing content creators make low effort videos do better than mine, and not seeing that really made it better for me. And then I kind of dabbled, and I kind of stopped playing PlayStation as well, and I actually started playing League of Legends, and that's all purely come from playing Smite, when I tried to get the platinum in Smite, which is absolutely brutal, and it is the hardest platinum trophy ever made, I would probably say, because the game itself is so difficult, and the game is really, really difficult. You couldn't pick that game up and play for 30 hours and get the platinum, even if you knew exactly how to get the trophies, because the skill of the game is so high that it's going to take you hundreds of hours to be good enough to even attempt some of the trophies. And the trophy list is easier than the achievement list, which is like an achievement per every single champion or god in the game. So I started playing League of Legends, and I really, really love it. I really fell in love with it, and one of the best games I played. And just starting from scratch in something completely different on the PC, not on the PlayStation, and actually this reward from getting good at something that I wasn't good at actually really kind of just like lit something in me. It really did. I had a lot of fun, met some nice people, and I played with some people from PlayStation who came across with me to play alongside with me. Like we spoke in the podcast about me and Steve playing the mobile version, which we kind of moved to the PC together. And although I say I stopped making videos on Platbro over the past 4 or 5 months, I actually didn't stop making videos. Firstly, I should say the Platinum podcast is back, and it's been back for like 3 months, 4 months now. We've only got 2 videos uploaded, and that's purely because I've been in this state of not really wanting to commit loads of time to videos, and that's kind of why. And we have actually recorded the second episode of the podcast, and there's a topic video out at the moment where we kind of had like a lighthearted discussion around some questions you guys asked, and we actually recorded 3 of them on the first day for the first podcast, and we've recorded another 2. So there's like 5 more of these topic style videos alongside the podcast to come out. But because of the editing commitments, I'm not going to overly commit to that. we're just going for like a video a month at the moment on this channel. It's kind of like, an extra to Platinum Bro, to Guy Fruski, and to Vault Boy Steve, because we've all got stuff going on. I'm not going to speak to what they've got going on, but they have also been very busy as well, which has kind of left this void where we haven't really been able to commit the time to the podcast that we'd wanted to. But we've still had fun meeting up and recording them and spending the whole weekend together and just messing about, and it's been really good. It's been some of the best weekends of 2024, I would have said. So you can check the Platinum Podcast out, of course. So I actually started another channel, which I'm not going to plug. That really fulfilled my creative space or need that I had within me, and it's doing okay. You know, I've only got about 15 videos. Some did incredibly well for the size of the channel, some didn't. But if anything, it was more of just a ability for me to keep honing my skills, trying out new things, taking a little bit more risks with some of the content. I just saying what happened. It has nothing to do with trophy hunting at all. It actually is a League of Legends channel. I stole it! Can't see it being a particular long-term thing, but it was just the fact that I wanted to do something, and I'm glad I did. And I am going to keep it going for at least 6 months. Kind of said that this year with Platbro, it's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to bring back Trophyless reviews. I am going to be doing at least one of those a month going forward, and I'm going to get back into live streaming because I feel like I haven't really spoke to you about just like general chinwag in a long time, purely because I just haven't really been playing games on PlayStation. That is the reality, and I've been playing a lot of League of Legends in my spare time, and I didn't really want to stream that. I might maybe still do it, but we'll see. I might just kind of try getting back into games, but I have found that a lot of the games I've been playing, I just kind of haven't really been able to really get into them like I have with League of Legends. So I started Sifu recently, and it's a really good game. It is a really good game. I have no real qualms with the quality of this game. It's just more the fact that kind of after 2 hours you know what the game is, and I was kind of like, well, it's a fighting game, and I like the fighting, but like, that's it. Don't know. League of Legends ruined me for other games. What can I say? It's more.
I am. And I will show the gods what I can become.
League of Legends has this multiplayer competitive side, and multiplayer games have been the games I've enjoyed the most in 2024. Helldivers is my game of 2024. It is incredible. The game that they've created, the world they've created, the memes, the memories, just everything about the game is fantastic. It should have won Game of the Year. Without a doubt, it is Sony's biggest selling PlayStation title, on the PS5 at least, and if not maybe the fastest of all time. And then on top of that, it also is a 10 out of 10 game, and it didn't even win Game of the Year. And other games like Astrobot somehow beat it, which is just mind-boggling to me because I haven't played Astrobot, but it's a platformer game that does nothing new. Helldivers brought in so much stuff to the world that nobody had played before. No one really experienced a game like Helldivers 2 before it came out, whereas Astrobot is literally just, an expansion of previous Astrobot games, which are platformers. Yeah, that's my little mini rant about that. Also, go back to Platbro. I think what I'm going to do is, because of the whole thing around I don't want to spend 100 hours making a video on platinuming a game for a video when I don't know if it's going to do well. It's a lot of risk, it's a lot of effort. I think what I'm going to do for at least the next 3 months is I want to start a kind of like a platinum journey is what I want to start. Copyrighted title. I own the rights to Platinum Journey. Basically, essentially, rather than doing one long video, I want to do a series on a game. Hypothetically, I pick one game and I get the Platinum Trophy over 2, 3, 4 videos, and this allows for me to not have to commit as much time to the singular video, but actually I can play the game for 15 hours and I can spend 20 hours editing, make a really good video that I'm proud of that's 15 minutes long, and it means I can just be more frequent with my uploads, and it allows people who do like me, want to have experience the game with me, it allows for them to kind of still be seeing things actively, and it's not a whole big deal that I've made a video. It's just kind of like, okay, these videos are coming out, they're still going to be edited, they're not going to be like let's plays, they're going to be the same as the Platinum Trophy videos I've done. It's just the fact that I'm actually going to be working towards the Platinum throughout a couple of videos as opposed to one, and it means actually I can go into a lot more detail. And I know Guy Fruski's doing this with Elden Ring.
Yeah, he's already on the run. Die, Alex. Bless you. Teabag.
Even though I platinumed the game when I was playing with him a year ago, and he still hasn't got the platinum. And I remember when I made my Elden Ring video, it was about 45 minutes long. I generally had to cut down probably about an hour from what that video could have been. That video could have been an hour and a half long. I played with LudiXP, I played with Shah, 3 Point Gamer, and I played with them, and I had about 3 hours of footage from playing with both of them. And in that video, they only feature in that video for 2 to 3 minutes each. And that's purely because the video was becoming so long that I was worrying about the length of it, and the end product is decent. I mean, I haven't watched it in a while. It's a year and a bit ago now. Probably not as good as the stuff I can make now, but it was still decent. At the time, I was so proud of it. I just feel like if I'd maybe broken it up, that could have easily been 4 30-minute videos. So if you have a suggestion on game you think I should play for the first game in this Platinum series, I am all ears. I'm 2 ears. I've got 2. But it's a saying. And if you want to suggest a game, go for it. I will be very selective, I'm not going to lie. I might not do the game you suggest, but I definitely would like to get some inspiration and some ideas. Potentially some sort of RPG, or maybe some sort of strategy game that has an engrossing story, because I want it to be a game that I want to see through and I want to enjoy, but also will make an entertaining and exciting video, not just something like that's pretty generic, or maybe not, and not something that's like one tone, and by that like just a shooter game like Call of Duty or something, which has like story and then a few hard sections, maybe a bit more to it. But I'm not sure at the moment. I thought it was going to be Sifu, but I feel like it's probably not now, just purely because I just don't think I can see myself through the 15 hours, because I'm not worried about my completion percentage anymore. I'm just not. It is not worth it. If you have 80% or higher, you're a pretty good trophy hunter. It just depends on the games you've got as well, of course, but also, you know. So yeah, on that, I hope this has been an interesting video for y'all. It's been interesting for me. I chose to sit here because I thought like this would be more casual, but I feel like because I'd never sat here for a video before, it's felt more formal than I thought it was going to be. It felt like I am like doing some sort of like intervention right now, is kind of what it feels like, and I'm like just like talking to the camera like an absolute maniac. But yeah, so you know, I'm Knuff. That's all that matters.
And I'm great at doing stuff.